welcome back to another episode here. Here with John, and today we are talking about investing into your team, how we invest into our team here at TeamGantt, specifically our team being remote, so what we do specifically to invest in our remote team.
Yeah, and I think some of this will apply to teams that aren't remote as well.
Yeah. So, John, I mean, why is it that we talk about investing in team, and why is that so important?
Well, I think the cost of hiring someone is great, right?
Yeah.
So it's much easier and much better to retain people than it is to constantly be looking for people. So I think there's that aspect of it, but then I think too, sort of more on the personal end, the relationship end. At the end of the day, work is work. And we want to be able to create environments, create spaces where people can get to know each other, sort of outside of work. Yeah. And I think the relationships that they are able to build in those moments outside of work really pay dividends at work.
Yes, because if we don't get FaceTime and we're just going over Slack to each other, emailing back and forth, that, you never get a chance to really interact. So
yep.
So what do we do to handle that?
One of the biggest things we do is we have meetups. So meetups are a great opportunity for your team to get to know each other, especially if you're remote. If you're not a remote, maybe this is just a company-sponsored event that you do, every couple months or something. Right. So, like most companies, TeamGantt, we're 20 people, but we're broken into smaller teams. So, and with us, we're also dispersed across the country. So, we try to have the smaller teams meet up, on a semi-regular basis. On the dev side, I think we meet the most often, and we'll do once per quarter. And we normally try to pick a city near where another dev already lives. So what that does is it sort of makes travel a little simpler, and then also make sure we always have a dev on the clock. We're not all up in the air if something happens. So a little, forethought there.
Yep.
But basically, once we get to the meetups, we either do hotels or we'll get like a big house that has enough rooms for everyone. And then, we've got a week planned out. We've got some work goals. But at the end of the day, the main goal, the main vision of that week is really just to build a unity, a cohesion amongst the team.
So what you guys do to build the unity amongst the team is actually more important than the work that you're getting done.
Absolutely.
Why do you think that is?
Because these are people you're working with every day. Right. You work every day. We have, essentially 4 weeks out of the year where we actually get to see each other in person. And those weeks, they're not even full weeks. Yeah. So it's an opportunity to say, hey, you know what? I don't see you all the time. We're not actually physically in the same, state all the time. So it's just a great opportunity, to build relationships, to build trust, and that'll carry through into work.
Yeah. So what kind of fun things do you do on a meetup? Like how do you get that? Because if you don't want to just work the whole time, what kind of fun stuff? What are some of the fun things we've done?
Well, I think first starts you have to plan fun things. You can't just expect fun things to happen.
It's true.
So we'll plan out. We've done escape rooms. Mm-hmm. We've gone fishing a few times. Mm-hmm. We've gone to like baseball games. We've done go-kart racing thing where we've rented out a racing facility for like the afternoon.
Trampoline places.
We've gone to trampoline places.
Customer Success is actually doing a meetup right now.
Yeah.
In Florida, right?
In Florida, yeah.
I just saw pictures of them jumping off of boats and fishing and doing stuff. So
so
skiing. People have been skiing out in Oregon.
Yeah.
So,
So it's all just events designed around just kind of building a friendship, building a community.
Yeah. And that really lasts. Like once you do that, and if you by the time we spend a week together or 3 or 4 days together,
mm-hmm.
That lasts for a good 6 months or a year, where you just know those people so much. You've gone through fishing, you've gone through these experiences where you've kind of you've broken those work boundaries and you've more become friends.
Yeah.
And that changes everything when you work with each other.
Absolutely, yeah. I think when you learn how somebody is outside of work, you not only does that sort of carry into work on a relationship level, but you also learn how they work. You learn how they tick, how they think.
Yeah.
So you learn to work better with them.
Yeah. And not only do we do like these team meetups, but once a year, we do a company meetup.
Yes. So we're a remote company. We're in, I don't know how many states, 12, 13 states, something like that. Mm-hmm. So Baltimore or Maryland is our home. So once per year, the whole company comes to Maryland and to Baltimore sort of specifically. And we'll have a week, just like the smaller meetups where it's dedicated to just like getting to know each other, building those relationships. And, we'll have some work goals as well. Like one time we did a hackathon where we tried to build a product from nothing to something. So we made this cool little to-do list. We never really did anything with it after the meetup.
Yeah.
But it was neat in that, we had design, development, and then even, some of the idea process behind it all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
We were all in the same room. We had a couple whiteboards. Like it was just kind of a fun event just to kind of be, everyone working on the same thing towards the same goal. And then it was cool. I mean, we spent probably 3 days on it, maybe not even 3 full days.
Yeah.
And at the end, we had something that was usable.
Yeah. Yeah, and then even the last meetup, I think we did the Project Health Report.
Yes.
And that was all just over the course of a couple of days and put that together, and we were all working together and collaborating on that. It was a fun time.
Yeah, so the Project Health Report, if you're not familiar with it, it's a very high level view of your project, and it just kind of lets you know, hey, how is my project tracking?
Right.
Is it green, which means you're on pace?
Right.
Is it yellow, which means you're a little behind, or is it red, which means like you're way behind? So it's just a great high level view
of all your projects. Yeah, I mean, that was a great thing. We do have the fun. We've got a meetup coming up this year. And actually, this one, the one we do this year, this has been started a tradition of every 2 years, we do a whole family meetup.
Yep.
And we do that family meetup because, I think it's kind of weird if maybe people in your family never get to meet your coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually fly all the families in, everybody that wants to come. And that's every 2 years. Kids get to come, spouses get to come, and it's a chance for everyone to kind of hang out, cookouts, and wiffle ball, and just having fun together.
Yeah, it's one big party. It's one big fun.
Yeah, yep. So the meetups are a big thing.
Yes.
But what else do we do to invest in the team?
I think one thing is you be into what they're into, right? So it doesn't mean you have to have the same hobbies, even though a lot of us, I think, are into similar things. We have a conference budget that we give everyone in the company. So what it is we give them, the finances and the time off to be able to go to a conference about something that they're interested in. The only sort of catch is it's got to be somewhat beneficial to the company. But basically we give them the time. So let's say they go away, they're out for 3 days. We make that work with our schedules. But at the end of the day, when they come back, they're super excited about the things they've learned. They're super grateful to the company in allowing them to grow themselves. And then I think from the company end too, we're able to take that knowledge and that excitement and apply it to the product. So at the end of the day, it's a small investment of a couple days and, some money to make the event, the travel happen, but it pays off dividends in the long run.
Yeah, it does. It does. And they make connections and meet other people and they get excited. And that is super valuable.
Yeah.
So what else? What other things do we do?
So I think one of my favorite ones is missions time off. So it's this unique perk that we have where, if there's a charity or there's a nonprofit or there's some sort of organization that someone within the team wants to serve in or at, we've got a couple people that they do a lot of great work in third world countries. So what we do is we say, hey, the time you take off to go do these things, we want to match that. We want to be in on that with you. So we'll basically match whatever PTO days that they take off. We'll match that with MTO time, basically. So what that does is, if they're gone for 4 days, we put up 2 days of missions time off. They only put up 2 days of PTO.
Yeah. So that way we don't hold them back and they're not thinking, because then they probably want to do a little more with their life. I mean, TeamGantt's great, but there's other things they might want to do or goals or ways they want to serve people, but we don't want them to feel like, oh my gosh, I don't want to use my only vacation time for that. And then that way they can still do some other things and accomplish some more with what they want to do in life. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, it is great. All right, and then another thing is just kind of like we talked about in a previous video, but the half-day Fridays.
Yep, yeah.
Making sure that everyone has a good work-life balance because that's important. We don't want anybody to feel overworked, but we want to make sure that they do have that good work-life balance. And that's a big thing in retaining people, keeping people happy, and keeping morale up.
And we have the health and wellness budget. So that's a budget that we give everyone per month. That's just, gym memberships, healthier food, just sort of however they need to do it, and just building themselves up to be healthier people.
Yeah, yeah. And then also the office budget. So basically,
Yeah.
whatever anyone needs to get their job done, they can basically pick out whatever computer they want. We give everybody, money for desk, chair, everything that you would have at home that you want to be set up and comfortable and be able to do your job well. And I think everybody enjoys picking out a new computer. That's fun.
Yeah, and for devs, we like keyboards. So
Yeah, right.
it's nice having some browns to type on. So
These developers have fancy keyboards.
yeah, they're nice.
Well, cool. I think that wraps it up
Yeah.
for what we do. Those are some of the things we do to invest in a team, and hopefully just give you a few ideas of ways to invest in your team and really try and find ways to keep the morale up and keep your team around for a long time, especially if you have good people. We're so blessed and thankful to have the amazing group of people here at this company, and we want to make sure that everybody stays happy here, and we hope there's a little inspiration from this that you can take away. So have a great day, great week, and we'll talk to you again later. Bye-bye.